Baldur's Gate 3 is a masterpiece. There's no denying that. The uncertainty of every action, reaction, and event heightens the excitement of every interaction. Every new enemy type, every new environmental hazard, and every new ability forces you to be present and focused on the task at hand. Despite an engaging story, intertwined with bits of lore from side quests, notes, and world design, I believe that Baldur's Gate 3 gets its addictive nature from its characters. This video will include some spoilers for the first part of the game, but just to be clear, I won't and I can't spoil the ending, the story, or the character beats. Baldur's Gate 3 might seem scary. The size of the world is massive. Any failed roll can change the trajectory of your playthrough entirely, and there's like a million names to remember. The game takes place in the Dungeons and Dragons world, and without any prior knowledge, you get to learn about new races, religions, cities, hell, and even different universes. Amidst the chaos that might be your first couple of fights, failed rolls, or untimely demise, there's only a few things that exists as constants. And those things are the characters. The game is divided into 3 acts. What happens in the second act depends on your choices from the first act. Act 1, while partially about you learning how to deal with the mechanics, also serves the purpose to introduce you to the main cast of characters. How you meet these characters can depend on what, who, or when you interact with someone or something, and sometimes you can even miss a character entirely. The world design naturally guides you to these characters, so you're more likely than not to find all of them one way or another. But even if you were to miss one, there are at least hundreds, if not thousands, of NPCs with fun interactions and their own stories to tell. While not every character has a larger story, all of them have a voiced reaction to your presence. Some of them also have their own smaller, confined stories, allowing you to explore and engage with a full story beat, sometimes in less than 20 minutes. Take the case of Glut. You find him in the circle of Sovereign Spa, lost and alone. Glut was a sovereign Myconid whose circle, that is, his colony, was eliminated. You can be tasked with avenging his fallen colony, and he will help you take out the Dwegar who's responsible. Once you carry out your task, Glut will ask for your help once more, this time to end Spa's reign. Here you have the choice of helping Glut become the new sovereign, or you can stop him right now before he hurts any of the other Myconids. Glut is just one of the many characters who you can get to know. The entire ordeal might be over in less than 20 minutes, and in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really have a big impact on the story. But it has an impact on you. Knowing that any character at any point in the game can have a short story of their own. That any interaction can change the quests and choices you have in the future is not only fun and exciting, but it's enthralling. As you travel the map, you might stumble into fights, cutscenes, or private conversations, which not only enhances your understanding of the world, but it also gives you an insight to this small corner of the universe. Depending on your choices and how you interact with the characters around you, the story will unfold in completely different ways. Sometimes luck is a factor in how you get by, because of the dice roll mechanic, critical hits or misses, or because of the enemy AI. Sevlor is a tiefling you meet early on in the game, as you're tasked to help him defend Emerald Grove. After a bit of exploring, there's a chance that the attackers, a bunch of goblins, come for the grove and anyone inside. If you fend off the invasion and Sevlor survives, I assume that you get to have many conversations with him and learn about what drives him. However, I have no clue because he was pushed off the edge and surrounded by enemies in my playthrough. While I couldn't create a strong bond with Sevlor, there are many other tieflings who are just bystanders, of which I've gotten to know and understand more deeply. Roland, Cal, and Leah are siblings, and they do end up arguing quite a bit, but After talking with them at multiple points throughout a playthrough, you end up seeing how deeply they really care for each other. Arabella, a tiefling child, is in danger after attempting to steal the idol of Sylvanus, which would have kept the tieflings in the grove safe. If you're able to save her, you learn that she has gained powers of which you get the chance to receive. Damon, the blacksmith, has a good heart, and while we don't necessarily learn too much about him, he can help you and one of your party members. Your party, the main cast of characters, are the foundation of what keeps you coming back to Baldur's Gate 3. The variety of backgrounds, themes, and motivations allows you to always find new intriguing directions for each of the characters. Not only do they all have their own lore, but they will all grow as people during the story. Depending on your relationship with each of the characters, they will behave and react differently. Certain roles can increase or decrease in difficulty, depending on your approval rate. You get to complete character-specific quests depending on the choices you make, and if a character likes you enough, you might get the chance to romance them. I previously mentioned how the game builds upon the D&D universe. The first party member you meet is Lae'zel, a Githyanki. Her Githyanki heritage makes her a bit high-strung and aggressive, as well as making her obsessed with being the strongest warrior. By journeying together with Lae'zel, you get the chance to learn about Githyanki customs, such as what a creche is, who their goddess is, and potentially how they prove themselves to a mate. Baldur's Gate 3 allows for someone like myself, who before the game had no knowledge of the Githyanki's existence, to dive deep into an entire race's history, beliefs, and philosophy. Each of the 6 main party members all have this kind of depth. Their upbringing, their previous adventures, and their personalities are all different and impact how they interact with the world around them. You gain approval based on your choices, but appeasing one of the characters may displease another. The way you interact with these characters can depend on what race you've chosen, your class, as well as the personality that you've decided your character should have. Because of the D&D framing, most of the interactions you have allows for multiple dialogue options, highlighting your character's personality. You can choose to be aggressive and attack first, ask questions later, or you can try to be sneaky and trick your enemies into a false sense of security. Or you can be kind and modest, and maybe make friends along the way. In the game there are 11 races, some of them including sub-races, such as the elves being able to pick between high elves or wood elves. Counting all of the sub-races, there are 21 different backgrounds you can choose from. Further, with the 12 classes, which also have their own subclasses, together with the 42 feats you can choose from when you gain a level, Baldur's Gate 3 allows for a massive amount of variation between characters and playthroughs. The variation impacts everything from your ability to hit good rolls, your ability to create meaningful bonds with the other characters, as well as how you position yourself in battles. And all that variation without even considering the amount of weapons, armor, or spells that you can pick up during your playthrough. In Baldur's Gate 3, you're not only role-playing as one character. You're role-playing all of the members of your party. You choose their loadout, how they level, and what specialties they should focus on. You have to make sure that your warrior has a strong sword, that your tank has good armor, and that your mage has a variety of useful spells. It's very easy to fall in love with all of the characters in the game. And even if there's one character that you like less, there's always something about their history, the way they carry themselves, or in the ways they grow over the game's runtime that you can find interesting. Sometimes starting a new playthrough with a completely different character can help you connect with a teammate who you previously might not have loved with another character. For me, that was Astarion. And other than the fact that he killed me while I was just trying to be nice, I just couldn't get past his narcissism and rude remarks. However, with a second character whose personality was more aligned with Astarion's, I was able to learn about him and I started to like him more and more. It also helps that Neil Newbon also goes really fucking hard as Astarion.
You know, I was ready to go this alone, but maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea.
Baldur's Gate 3 is filled with so many different interactions. Every situation can be dealt with in a numerous amount of ways, and with just a little bit of creativity, you can achieve anything. The world is vast, not only in area but also in biomes and inhabitants. Entering a new region can be a bit overwhelming. With all the branching paths, sub-areas and hidden spots, it's easy to miss major parts, characters and quests. Act 2 expands upon the vast environment, and depending on your choices in Act 1, you will have more or less quests to do. Here, you have the opportunity to meet a mix of new characters, some of which give you quests, some of which are trying to kill you, and some of which who can become new party members. The only character who you will always travel with, except for yourself, is Shadowheart. Shadowheart is a half-elf cleric of Shar, Shar being the deity of darkness. While working your way through Act 2, you will hear about the Night Song. The Night Song is a weapon of Selûne, Selûne being the sister of Shar, her never-ending opponent. Shadowheart, being a follower of Shar, wants to get rid of the Night Song, despite it maybe being your best option for completing your mission. This is what Baldur's Gate 3 does best. Through interactions with Shadowheart, through exploration, and through world building, you have the ability to change the outcome of events. Pitching your goals against those of your party members creates tension and forces you to take everything into consideration before you make a choice. Building up that relationship, understanding the character's wants and needs, and learning what actually drives them can make or break the story. Without the party members, the characters you deeply care about, the game would lose tension and intrigue. It would be harder to envelop yourself in the world, feel like your choices matter, and appreciate the work put into the massive universe. Side characters can create just as strong a bond to you as the main cast, and they are given the chance to evolve at a faster pace and hook you in because of their limited screen time. The combination of intriguing characters, the large number of variations, and the amount of creative solutions is what gives Baldur's Gate 3 its addictive nature. If you've enjoyed my character during this video, feel free to subscribe and leave a like, or comment your thoughts down below. My name's Turtlekun. Remember to eat well, sleep well, and I will see you in the next video.